From the shores of Malibu where the waves are pumping, to the Great Wall of China, and back to the streets of Las Vegas at Sphere, where the UFC is coming. We are live. This is It's Time Radio, the show where we talk about what you think about but may be afraid to voice. Do not worry, we will voice it for you. It's No Holds Barred Radio, folks. And what better guest to have a No Holds Barred Radio than, of course, my producer, co-host, TJ DeSantis, but our esteemed guest, friend of the show, wild man, legendary man, God knows what he's going to do next, man. Steve-O. Steve-O, how are you, bub? Good?
I'm doing great, man. Good to see you both.
Good to see you, too. You're in Vegas, aren't you?
I am. I am at I'm at the M Resort, which is, I understand, a new resort and casino. It's the official hotel sponsor of the Las Vegas Raiders. And they've really rolled the red carpet out for me. We've been having a blast.
Very cool. Are you going to be working with the Raiders?
I don't know about working with the Raiders, but I've been running around Vegas trying to do all the most fun, cool stuff. Yesterday, I drove a Lamborghini around the speed track and went on a ride along with the drift car racing and jumping these dirt trucks. That Speed Vegas is really something else.
Yeah, no, I've had an invitation to go there and I haven't gone there yet. And after driving the F1 type car I did in Abu Dhabi, definitely I'm all for it. I want to do it.
Yeah, I strongly recommend it.
You want to go faster the next time, Steve-O. Once you go once, you realize how much faster you can go when you do it again.
Yeah, I've never been much of a car guy, so I think I somewhat disappointed them. The guy was like, "Okay, more throttle. All right, now, like, come on, let's let's hit it." But I did what I could, and I had a blast. I really recommend that place.
Very cool. Are you going to be going to the show?
I will. I will be. My lady can't make it, so I only asked for one ticket.
Oh, okay. You're going to leave your wife at home?
I mean, it's not that. Like, she just can't make it. Like, she is like she's got.
Don't give away anything, Steve. It's okay. You don't have to say whatever. Just she can or she can't make it. You got the feeling I wasn't going to come out too easy. All right, listen, a couple things, Steve. The skydive thing you're doing, what exactly is this all about?
Last week I jumped. I did 25 skydive jumps in just 4 days, which is a lot by anybody's standards. I was getting certified to jump solo so that I can drive a car out of an airplane.
That's your plan?
Yeah, and it's actually a pretty heavy stunt because from what I understand, any kind of draft or anything like as a car's falling, it really can get prone to flipping and spinning like tremendously fast. And I have to get out of it while falling at terminal velocity and, separate myself from the car and pull my chute. And then the car will not have a chute. So it's going to, fall onto the ground from 15,000 feet somewhat spectacularly, I imagine.
Slow down.
Yeah, this is one of the...
First off, 15,000 feet is a lot, but it's not a lot. That's
well,
quick.
Right. A commercial airline will fly like 30,000 feet. Skydiving, you do at more like 15,000 feet.
Yeah.
You fall the first 1,000 feet takes about 10 seconds to fall. And then you reach terminal velocity, and thereafter each 1,000 feet is 5.5 seconds. So figure 10,000, I don't know, you free fall for about a minute.
Yeah, I just did the math. You're talking 15,000, that's 10, 14 times 5 is 70, that's 80 seconds. Yeah, about a minute 20.
This
Well,
is one of
right, but
the
you got
What
to
point do you get
pull
out
the
of that?
chute. You want to pull the chute around 4,000 feet.
You
guys.
want to
This
be
is
out
one of
of the
those.
car pulling the chute at 4,000 feet.
Yeah, you want to be out of the car, probably a little higher.
Yeah, I would hope so. So what time are you going to get out of that car as soon as that drops? Are you going to start getting out of that car right away?
I want to be like falling for a little while and just changing the radio station on the car.
All
Like
right.
goofing
All right.
around for a little bit.
Steve-O, this sounds like take out your life insurance policy, man. This sounds like the most dangerous stunt you've ever done in your life.
It's not going to help
Um,
him, Buff. He's not going to be there.
Yeah,
What's?
well,
I mean, I'm scared, Steve. Is this the last time we're going to talk to you?
Oh, I don't know. I don't think it's anything like I think it'll be pretty routine. In my view, it's more of a ceremonial end to this fantastic car, which has survived so many stunts already. I bought it initially so that I could dress up like a crash test dummy and drive it right into a wall to explode the airbags out and kind of have a crash test dummy bit. And then we killed it with off-roading, and then we got it fixed by a mechanic, and then we rolled it sideways down a huge hill, and with me inside of it, and I made it like 3.25 complete revolutions, which is a lot. Like it looks like it flips like 6 times, but and it's just bouncing down the hill is awesome. So I've got some more stuff to do with the car, and then the airplane should finish it off for good.
let's just hope the car's finished off for good, but not our good friend Steve-O. Steve-O, I wish you all the best on this one. Are you filming this for TV?
No, it's for my new tour. It is like my last tour. It's a multimedia live comedy show. So I've got this act, and I tell the stories and the jokes, and I illustrate everything with videos, which play kind of rapid fire throughout the show.
Okay. I'm still a
It's
little
called.
stunned. How about you, TJ?
I'm terrified because I mean, Steve, you're already on what number life at this point? Like, you know?
It's a fair point, but yeah, the tour, it's called Steve-O the Super Dummy Tour, and it's kind of a comedy of errors and a pretty fierce battle between me and Father Time.
Yeah, obviously,
Yeah.
to say the least. All right,
Are you
Steve-O, you're
are you having fun at least, Steve? Like, is this exciting still for you?
For sure, man. I mean, nothing gives me more joy than you know, accomplishing some feat that defies logic and in some cases physics. I love it. I'm driven to do notably idiotic things, and
well
I don't know
speaking
how much. I don't know that I'll have another project where I can really, really, raise the bar for physical, you know, physical stunts. But I'm giving it hell for this one.
all right. Well, speaking of going to extreme levels and doing things that you don't know what you're going to do, why you're going to do it, or but you know when you're going to do it. All right, Steve, let's talk about the penis tattoo, Steve-O.
Yeah.
What was the motivation on that? And
Um.
and second to the question, is that tattoo forever?
Well, I mean, you can always get a tattoo removed with laser
Yeah.
technology. So, when I came up with the idea to get a penis tattooed on my forehead, I considered the stakes to be fairly low and that it would be mostly an exercise in determining how long I last before I go rushing to get it lasered off. And now I've had it for the just about 3 months now, and surprisingly, my life's not really any different. It,
Have you had a lot of comments when you walk around, people that know or don't know you?
I've had some comments, but really not too much. I imagine after getting it, like the next morning, I woke up and I just kind of thought, "Oh my God, what have I done?" And I pictured I pictured my life looking like Bret Michaels with a bandana that never comes off.
Right.
But yeah, as it turned out, nothing got taken down on social media as a result of it. No YouTube videos got demonetized because of it. It really hasn't turned into a problem in any area of my life, and I enjoy it. You know, when people ask me for a photo, I like to give them my good side.
So what was the motivation? Was it money?
I mean, it is a little bit of a social experiment, I suppose. And it was an idea that I'd been kicking around for quite some time. I was actually going to do it for the last Jackass movie that came out just a couple of years ago.
Right.
Then it ended up not happening, and yeah, I don't know. It's just it's a crazy dumb thing to do, man. It's right in my wheelhouse.
I'm not going to call you dumb for it. I'm going to say it is definitely crazy. And I was very surprised. And you got a lot of, not to coin a pun, you got a lot of balls, Steve-O.
Oh, well, thanks, man. Yeah.
I'm curious, Steve, have you had any tattoos lasered off before? Because I hear it's extremely painful.
It is painful, but it's quick. It happens really, really fast. I used to have on my knuckles, I had 4-letter words, the S word and the F word. You know, my knuckles said shit fuck. And that I had for over a decade until I just kind of felt that it had outlived its usefulness, and I went and got it lasered off. It's pretty counterintuitive, too, that it's actually black tattoo ink, which is most easily and completely removed by lasers. All of your various colors, like the color red or green, or the colors are harder to get out, but black is the easiest, which seems to be counterintuitive, but it's true. So yeah, that came out, and I don't have really any sign of it anymore. It's gone.
That's impressive.
All right, well,
Yeah.
let's go to another part of your anatomy, Steve-O. It's been rumored to the fact, and I don't think you've done it already, but I'm hearing breast implants. Now, what is this all about?
Okay, that one. That's another idea that I was kicking around for a long time, and I made it. I was 10 hours away from being in surgery for breast augmentation. The idea was to get D-cup boobs surgically implanted and film wild stuff for just 2 months and then get them out. And I had just a bunch of crazy ideas for pranks and stunts and all of this stuff. I really felt that that it would garner a lot of attention, that it would be funny, that my motivation for doing it was pure, and that I was just trying to be crazy and get laughs. Again, I made it to within 10 hours of being in surgery when I got a phone call that the anesthesiologist had backed out of it, finding out that it was me doing it as a stunt. The anesthesiologist didn't want to be involved in it, and then the doctor didn't want to be associated with it, and they were trying to reschedule it. And the day of the surgery not happening, the day that it was supposed to happen, I just had a chance encounter with somebody who was evidently transgender. And up to that point, I hadn't felt like I really needed to run it by anybody, but I just thought, man, this is weird, you know. And I had this thoughtful and profoundly impactful conversation with this transgender individual, and I just arrived at the conclusion that the universe had intervened on my behalf and prevented. I feel like the universe just intervened and saved me from myself, and very uncharacteristic of me, but I said I was going to do something and backed out. Ended up not doing it.
Okay, I think you made a good choice.
Yeah,
Well,
you know who else thinks I made a good choice is Dana. I was on a show with Dana. It was for LeBron James. I guess LeBron James has a production company and a show called The Shop, and I explained the plan to get the boob job, and Dana just about completely freaked out. He said, "No, dude." And then when I ended up backing out of it, I shot Dana a text to let him know that I wasn't going to do it. He called me right away to tell me how thrilled he was that Dana said that wasn't going to go well for you.
yeah, I have to agree with Dana. I have to agree with Dana on that. Any more wild anatomy parts that we have to look forward to, or something
Um,
beyond? You're always going for the next level of extreme, Steve-O.
Yeah, I mean, for this Super Dummy tour, it kicks off in next month in October. I've got dates scheduled through the end of the year, and yeah, man, it's I'm always looking for the next level, and there's all kinds of wild and inappropriate stuff that I've packed this show full of. And
And
I'm excited with everything I got going in there.
okay, this is a show people buy tickets to and attend,
Correct. Yeah.
and you're coming to LA.
I got Thousand Oaks on the schedule, which is where's Thousand Oaks? It's a little bit like
It's in the Valley. It's in the Valley in
all
LA.
right, all right, yeah.
Yeah.
I've
So at a
got
comedy club.
no, it'll be in a theater.
Very cool. Very cool. Well,
Yeah,
let me know when you come to LA because if I'm free, I'll come out to the show.
I love it, man. I love it.
Yeah, I might step on stage and introduce you in a very different way than I would introduce other people. That's for sure because you're Steve-O.
Wow, that's fantastic, man. So let's talk about some fighting.
All right,
What
let's talk about that real quick. One other question: your dog sanctuary
yeah.
happening?
Absolutely. It's not just dogs, it's all farm animals. I've moved out to Tennessee. I've got 40 plus acres with my lady. Um, so far, we've got 4 goats, 2 pigs, 3 cats, 2 dogs. Um, and we've filed for 501c3 status. Um, and we're just waiting for our confirmation of registration so that we can take donations and really, really develop this place into
Very
a,
nice.
a,
Very
a bona
nice. I
fide
know this
animal
is a real,
sanctuary.
yeah, this is a real
Yeah,
passionate thing for you and your lady. I know that for sure.
for sure. Yeah.
Like,
So thank you for asking, man. We called the place the Radical Ranch, and God, I love it, man. I wasn't even prepared for how much I would fall in love with living in Tennessee on this sprawling property in the woods.
that's awesome. It's a bucket list dream. You're at peace with yourself when you're at your homestead, right?
Oh my God, I can't even stand it. I love it so much. And I've been on a crazy fitness bender. Like we've got a mile long trail that goes through the woods around our property, and I walk and run around that thing like 5 times a day. I'll go riding my bicycle like an average of 20 miles a day. I got the sauna, the cold plunge, like all of that, just right there at the house, and I can't get enough of it, man. I'm really out to kick Father Time in the nuts. I know he's
Good.
gonna get me, but I'm putting up a fight.
Hey, it's gonna get all of us. I've got the cold plunge and the sauna set up too. I do that cold plunge every morning.
Yeah.
3 minutes. You probably do it for 10 minutes. I do it for 3 minutes.
Now,
So,
what I do is I do the sauna for 15 minutes, then I do the cold plunge for 2 minutes straight out of the sauna, then repeat the whole process, 3 times over.
repeat, rinse, wash. Got it. Okay.
Yeah,
All right, let's talk fights. Listen, we know you're a big UFC fan, big fight fan.
love it.
Um, and by Recollection Collective, have you ever done one of your stunts where you stepped in? I know you've been punched in the face by Tyson. I know you've been kicked in the you know what. I know all that stuff. Have you ever done anything with a mixed martial artist?
I got choked unconscious
That's right.
by Michael Bisping, by Chuck Liddell, and by Tim Kennedy. I think I'm now officially retired from being choked unconscious. I don't need to do that anymore.
I agree with you there. And out of curiosity, who is the most intimidating out of the three?
The most proficient was Chuck Liddell. I mean, he got me out so fast and so gently, so effectively. Tim Kennedy, I asked him to drop me, and he did. My head really kind of bounced off the floor. That's probably the most violent and upsetting footage of that there is of me. Like, at least it's a contender. But Chuck Liddell was the most efficient, the most professional.
Your career in skydiving, penal tattooing, and dealing with fighters is coming to an end. Okay, the chapters are being closed.
Gradually, yeah. I think I'm phasing out a lot of the physical stuff gradually.
Okay, all right. And is that a new tattoo on the left side of your head?
Oh yeah, my Crash Dummy logos.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got really excited about my whole the Crash Dummy theme, and
Steve, you're a true example of passion for someone that loves what they're doing. That's for sure.
Well, all right. Thanks, man.
Let's talk fights. You're going to the Sphere. It's going to be a very interesting show. It's going to be one hell of a production. Obviously, have you been to the Sphere before?
I have not. And I'm absolutely fascinated to check it out. Have you been in there?
I have not. I'm going to have to show up obviously early on show day. There's a lot to go over.
Right.
But it's going to be, from what I understand, it's going to be one hell of a production, and
right,
different in many ways.
And all of the video presentations, which appear on, like, I guess, the Sphere, take like some 12 days to render, I understand. So of any card, we've never seen a UFC event more vulnerable to fight cancellations, because if any fighters pull out and have to be replaced, there's no way to replace the video packages, which will be presented, I guess.
Wow, interesting. I didn't realize. You're saying that it has to be loaded 12 days ahead of time to what's going to go on the Sphere?
This is what I've heard. I don't know, I understand that to be the case. And it seems to indicate that it makes sense for this to be a one-of-one fight, because I think that the production is very much at the mercy of the fight staying scheduled.
Yeah, well, I think Dana's been quoted as saying this is one and done. This is going to be the only. Am I correct on that, TJ? Yeah, this is the only show they plan on doing.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many logistics that have to come together, like Steve said, just for one scene. And I'm curious how fight specific they get, because it's a fight game. I mean, you remember that one UFC where Hamzat was supposed to be in the main event and everything got shuffled? Like, if that happens for this one, like, I don't want to be around Dana at all, because he's going to be so upset, based on how much money and time and effort. But knock on wood, everything works out.
Yeah, I mean, the reports are, the production's costing north of, or in the area of $20 million. Again, these are just reports.
Right.
I mean, it's been months since Dana said that he had already put $17 million into this one event.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's fascinating. Definitely history being made.
No question.
And I'm very interested that O'Malley is an underdog against Merab. Do you have a line, TJ, on the main event?
Yeah, I looked at it. Well, I looked at it today, and it was minus 135 for O'Malley. It may have shifted.
He's favored. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Okay, that's a big shift, because I understood that O'Malley was a more than 2-1 underdog.
It's one of those lines, guys.
I don't think so, TJ. Was he?
But it's one of those lines that I think is going to change as we get closer. We could see O'Malley end up be like a minus 175 to 2-1 favorite. If either guy has a tough weight cut, we could see, it shift to Merab. Like when you have these stylistic matchups, I tend to lean towards the grappler a little bit. I think that over the course of 25 minutes, Merab has to be perfect, but it just takes one takedown from a guy like that to end up shifting the whole round his way. But as we've seen with O'Malley in the past, the dude's a sniper. You can't leave anything out, especially your chin. So we'll see what happens. But I expect that line to probably go far one way or the other right after weigh-ins.
But I'm correct that Merab was like a minus 250 favorite. Like
I'm gonna get you a line on
I don't know about that.
where this has gone since it opened here in just one brief second. Here we go. So it opened up. Well, my web browser has frozen on me. Great, awesome. We'll circle back to it.
All right. Well, maybe I've got that wrong, but God, it's just O'Malley's such an exciting champion. He's just so fun, and his confidence is so just
Through the roof.
yeah, and it's like magnetic. It's it's just fun to watch. So I really.
You know what it is, Steve? He's got what there's fighters that come along every period of time that have what I call, and I've said this before on the show, the it factor, right? And he's got like Conor McGregor has the it factor, Patty Pimblett has the it factor, Ronda Rousey has the it factor. They just seem to adapt, whether it's marketing, social media, in the octagon, out of the octagon. People are drawn to them, right? And Sean's got that kind of impression. Plus his whole look, his appearance, everything about him is completely like yourself, unique, right? So it's just there's nobody that comes close to him in these different styles that he projects of himself.
Yeah, and to have the confidence that you need as a champion and remain likable, it's such a delicate balance.
Absolutely.
And I think Sugar Sean really navigates that balance very well, very effectively. And then you see like other fighters. I mean, here I'm being critical and perhaps disparaging, but like Ilia Topuria and Bilal Muhammad, like I don't know that they've really won anybody over with their personalities and their banter after becoming champions. I said it.
You said it.
You're entitled to your opinion. I think that's what makes this game so hard, guys, from a promoter standpoint, because, a guy can have the it factor, and then sometimes it just doesn't click in the octagon, and vice versa. You could have a world beater who people just, for whatever reason, don't care about, and it's really hard to sort of know where to invest and push from a business standpoint. Looking at the line, Steve, the closest that this fight has been is minus 127 for Sean O'Malley. So we have not seen O'Malley as an underdog, but
wow, so
we'll
I got that
happens.
completely wrong. O'Malley's been the favorite the entire time.
From what I've seen thus far,
I wonder why I thought that. I swear I had heard that Merab was a favorite, but hey,
maybe
man,
you saw the minus. Maybe you saw the minus, thinking it was a plus.
Guys, I think there's an argument to be made for Merab to be the favorite, but we'll see what happens. And obviously, you know as well as anybody, Buff, it's the betting public that ultimately decides where that line is. We'll see where the money is Saturday night.
Once the line is made, it's where the betting goes. That's what sways the line. The line's made initially, and then the betting sways it up or down.
Yep,
right.
Which a lot of people don't realize. Steve, Alexa Grasso, Valentina Shevchenko. Valentina says she lost the last fight by making a mistake. Extremely tough.
I heard Valentina Shevchenko say that it was actually a judge who made the mistake and that she didn't lose the fight. And I think, and certainly she made a mistake on the first fight. And wow, was that exciting? Oh man, the line going into that, I believe it was the second round. On Shevchenko Grasso won. I mean, it was over 1,000, you know,
Yeah.
and then right there, God, Grasso just got that, got the back, and oh my God. Um,
Ended it quick.
yeah, so that was a mistake on Shevchenko's part. And then it was a bit of a debacle with the judges on Grasso Shevchenko too.
Yeah.
Um, I don't think anybody agrees that what it was ruled a draw because of the one judge.
Yep.
I don't believe anybody agrees with that. I think Grasso got away with it. But what's the line on the co-main?
Minus 140 right now for Alexa Grasso. And it is weird to see that plus sign
Wow.
next to Valentina Shevchenko. Valentina as an underdog. I don't care if the last two fights, haven't gone the way that she wants to. She's one of the greatest of all time. And to see plus money next to her name it just feels weird.
Yeah, I agree.
That
I
that
agree.
is that is quite unbelievable, and I wonder how that even is.
It's very
I
hard to
mean,
Man,
contemplate with a champion like her being an underdog in a fight. I made the best man, best woman win, right? But I got to say, when you have something like that, and I've mentioned this about best before, if you're going to bet a fight, again, may the best woman win. But it's hard not to put your money on Valentina.
but I'm curious, Buff, when you think about what this weekend is all about, it's Mexican Independence Day
Yes.
weekend. The Mexican base is going to be out, cheering on all the athletes in the UFC. And do you believe in energy at all? Do you believe that the momentum guys might be on the side of the proud Mexican woman who is the reigning defending champion?
I definitely believe in energy, but I don't know if I can go completely with that because it's still a fight, and it's still.
Right. But if it's a close fight, Buff, sometimes those crowds sway judges. And, this
If
is
that's
a.
what you're saying,
Well,
if
this
that's
is
what
a.
you're saying, that could be a possibility. Judges are only human, and
Well,
God knows we deal with judges' decisions all the time.
Sure. But let's also remember the fact that this sphere is made for music. It's, acoustically designed to enhance sounds. If that is a pro Alexa Grasso room and they're cheering for everything that she does and maybe not so much for Valentina, those judges might be even more inclined to see some things that maybe aren't necessarily there at times.
You know what? We'll find out on Showtime. Any comments on that, Steve-O?
I think that the Valentina is going to be very precise. I think that she really, really, I think, is motivated to fight her perfect fight because she feels that she was um, dealt an unfair decision. I think. I mean, I would like to see Grasso win. I think I'm rooting for Grasso, but I think that the odds makers have this one wrong. Is my
I
feeling.
mean, think about going into the first fight, guys. If someone told you that Alexa Grasso was going to have 3 straight fights with Valentina Shevchenko where she potentially doesn't lose, she may not win all of them. You got the draw, but the odds that Grasso would get through 3 fights without a loss against Valentina would have been 28,000 to 1.
Yeah,
Hell of a bet.
I don't disagree.
It's the rubber
And then
match.
what do
We'll
we
see
got? We got Brian Ortega,
That was the
and
next thing. You got Diego Lopez and Brian Ortega. Okay, and Diego Lopez coming along really strong. He's minus 180 in this fight. Brian's an underdog, plus 143.
Again, we were supposed to see this one this past June. Ortega got sick.
that was
Didn't
when
happen.
Dan Ige jumped in.
Yeah,
Right.
Dan,
Yeah,
same day he got.
Last minute. Yeah, give Denny all the credit in the world. Diego Lopez is a tough cat. He's like the number
yeah.
12, I think, contender right now.
Yeah.
Brian's still in the top 10.
It's crazy to think that Diego Lopez has only been in the UFC since May of last year.
Yeah, I think he's had like 4 fights?
Yeah, he's honestly the fastest rising star to go from making his debut in 2023 to where he's at now. Momentum's been on his side. He's a phenomenal poster boy, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But wasn't his first fight in the UFC one where he came in on short notice, was like a massive underdog, and
Yep.
didn't actually get the win, but just the fact of it was a big favorable introduction into the UFC.
Yeah, he was a
Yes.
big underdog to Movsar Aloyev, and then I think it was like 5-1 underdog, and came in lost the fight, but was super competitive, and has obviously thrilled people since. He's the guy that is sort of the one you look at for stepping up on short notice in a fight that maybe on paper isn't the greatest one to take. But if you go out there and put on a show
Right.
and endear yourself to the fans, like this is the main sport, I think, guys, where you can come up short and lose and still come up, with your stock going up and fans loving you. And that's what Lopez has done ever since, signing and fighting in the octagon.
For sure. A great example of that is Mike Chandler and Justin Gaethje.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I had an idea to make a video for YouTube of what I consider the top 10 worst tattoos in the UFC.
Oh, man.
There's Diego Lopez, I think, is a contender. It's kind of pretty.
I mean, is
No comment
Lesnar
on that
number
one.
one, Steve? That sword on Brock Lesnar's chest? Come on.
I mean, dude, is it Jamal Hill with the little thumbs coming in?
Yeah.
There's a lot of them.
I think Brock Lesnar takes the cake personally.
God.
Yeah, that's a pretty strong one.
I'd hate to
Definitely.
make that video and run into the man, though.
Right.
Exactly.
That's kind of the fun of it, I think, is
Yeah. But there's some all-timers, Steve. You got to have a window of what tattoos qualify, because if you're going back to the earliest days of the UFC, man, there's some gnarly ones over the years.
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
Well, listen, Saturday night, Sphere, it's going to be a hell of a show. 10 fights, production, everything. We all think we think we know what we're going to look forward to, but none of us have any idea what to look forward to. It's going to be a surprise for us all, including people like myself walking in to do my job. So,
and you guys said it's a once-in-a-lifetime show. It's not just going to be that way for the people in the building. It's going to be kind of like what Steve sells his show as, a multimedia experience.
Right.
And I think the people at home are going to be in store for a treat, even if they're not out there in Las Vegas inside the Sphere.
absolutely.
for sure. Did you say there's 10 fights with the
10
fight pass prelims included?
10. That's
Yep.
it.
Wow. I feel like there's normally
Normally
More
12,
than that.
14.
There is, definitely.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that even amplifies the stakes even more about things falling off. They can't afford it.
right.
Well, there's also, I think, going to be more space in between fights because of this film they're showing and things that I've been reading about.
Right.
So there's, the production will make it still a 6-hour show, easily 6 to 7 hours.
Fantastic. Well, I'll be there from the very first.
You always are. Absolutely.
I love it.
Beginning to end. Steve-O, aside from the fights, are you a football fan?
You know what, I am. And historically, it's always been the beginning of the season. I would say to myself, "Oh, this time I'm going to pay attention. This year I'm going to really pay." And then there's too many games, too much, and I never really followed through with my intentions to really pay attention to the season. But what changed last year? I stumbled upon the NFL's YouTube channel, where at the conclusion of every game, the NFL posts a condensed version of each game, which will this condensed version will last anywhere from 9 minutes to 14 minutes, and you see all of just the greatest moments of the game. And it's just so digestible that I watch like every one of them, and it's genius on the part of the NFL because by the time the playoffs rolled around, God, I was so invested in the football season that they had me subscribed to literally every streaming service which has a deal with the NFL. Because if I come to playoffs, then I had to watch the whole game.
Now, speaking of YouTube, unlike DirecTV and where they had the package, you could watch any game possible on the NFL. That's now switched over to YouTube, where they have that. And now if you have DirecTV, you can't get ESPN. You can't get Channel
What?
7. Oh, yeah.
Really? Well, I mean, it's probably a temporary thing, right? They're probably trying to come to a
Don't
deal.
know. You got to have the you got to go to the ESPN app or whatever to
Wow.
watch the game, or you got to go to Peacock, I think, to watch the game, which was last
Dang.
Thursday. It's just all over
Yep.
the place now. But obviously, they're getting big money. Otherwise, they wouldn't be making these changes.
Yeah.
So the Eagles look strong. My Eagles look really strong. What's your team, Steve-O?
Man, I've
Or do you
always
have one?
I've always picked different teams, different seasons. I was sitting next to a couple of the Cincinnati Bengals at I think it was the Miami pay-per-view card with O'Malley versus Cheeto, and I think that was the one. And I said told these guys from the Bengals every season I pick a different team, and I decided this season I'm going for the Bengals. Of course, they let me down on week 1, but yeah, but I'm sticking with them. I
That's
really
all
As
right.
long-
They're strong. They get a hell of a quarterback. The guy is definitely one of the best. I thought watching the Niners, the quarterback looks like he's 18 years old. It's amazing. You know?
yeah. I like the
As long
Detroit
as-
Lions. Detroit Lions, I
I
like
thought
a
the
lot.
Detroit Lions, I like the coach. I like the team. I like the way he runs that team.
Yeah.
That was a tough game. Tough game for Aaron Rodgers. Tough game for everybody.
Yep.
Was that Aaron Rodgers? Wait a minute.
Wait,
Yeah,
no,
Aaron Rodgers plays
on
for the Jets.
He lost to the
Yeah.
Niners.
Niners. That's right. The Niners. Pardon me.
Yeah, as long as you're not cheering for the Minnesota Vikings, Steve, you'll end up
Yeah.
okay because they're
TJ's
the most cursed
hometown
team.
his home state is Minnesota, but he's always got an issue with the Minnesota Vikings.
Well, yeah, I don't have an issue. They have an issue. They've lost 4 Super Bowls. They have the most embarrassing off the field incidents. And, I firmly believe that if you're in a bad relationship, you should get out of it. I got out of it.
Okay, that's good. That's good advice.
Don't tell that to
Hey, you
Nick
know one thing
Swartzen.
that happened?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I know.
right. What a character he is.
But he's a
One
glutton
thing-
for punishment, you know?
One thing that was amazing, the 49ers rookie Ricky Purcell, who was shot in the chest just like last week or the week before.
Yeah.
I forget
Yeah.
Exactly. And he's standing on the sidelines watching the game.
He's going to play eventually,
He's gonna
you know?
play in
like
4
it's
weeks.
Crazy.
No surgery.
Right.
I mean, unbelievable.
Yeah, that
I
was a
guess he missed
lucky.
every little organ, whatever.
Yep, that was certainly a lucky turnout.
Oh, he's back as fast as John Wick after taking 10 bullets to whatever, literally standing up and taking on everybody. It's powerful.
Fantastic.
But did you hear Tom Brady's broadcast debut? Did you watch? Did you hear any
I
of his
didn't.
broadcast debut?
I did not because I watched these condensed versions, so there's virtually
Got
no commentary in the mix.
Yeah,
but you know what? I remember.
thought-
I was tremendously impressed by Tony Romo's commentary on the last Super Bowl.
Oh,
Yeah,
he's
really,
excellent.
Yeah, and what
Bill-
impressed me about it was that the way that he offered up, like how he would handle situations. Like, oh, I would do this, and I just thought that it was really eloquent. I thought it was really compelling. I became a big fan of Tony Romo in the booth.
Well, also, too, he was like Nostradamus. Like, he would say something's going to happen, and then it would happen 2 plays later. And if anybody is like a hateable guy for whatever reason, Tony Romo's that guy. People love to hate on the guy, but I don't think you can objectively dislike him in the booth. He's much different than a lot of
Yeah.
people sort of thought he was as a player. And you're right, Steve. Like, he provides a level of insight that
Yeah.
I'm not an NFL fan, but I enjoy hearing him talk about the game.
Well, I still
Right.
think just like fighters that commentate, players that commentate, coaches that commentate, you get the most direct,
Oh yeah.
whatever the word is,
Insight.
commentating.
Insight.
Sure.
I mean, it's all about insight.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I mean, there's no better commentary than the UFC. I mean, it's unbelievable the balance that the UFC commentators find between kind of joking around and providing the insight. It's tremendous. I'm always so impressed.
They all
I'm
do
also-
a great job. I mean,
Yeah. Also curious,
Anik.
what was? Yeah, Anik is like reminds me of Tom Bergeron, just being so quick and.
that's an interesting combination, or rather comparison right there. But Anik, the combination of Anik, Rogan, and DC, Bisping from a fighter standpoint. I can't think of one commentator that I don't enjoy. They're
Oh,
they're all
absolutely.
great.
Yeah,
Yep.
for sure. What
Even
was the
Laura Sanko and
consensus?
Megan getting in there too. Give them credit
Yeah,
too. They do a great job.
for sure. What was the consensus feedback on Tom Brady's debut?
What I heard, and this is not coming from me, is there was some negativity.
Ooh,
Um, well, I don't want to say negativity, criticism. But you know what? Whatever it was, either way, it was his first rep.
Yeah.
We're
right.
talking about one of the greatest
Right.
quarterbacks of all time, if not the GOAT, by many people's standards. And he's walking into a different field here. Give him a couple of shows, warm up to it. The whole
Right.
bit.
And
I mean,
also,
Yeah.
too, like you said, Buff, first rep, like calling your first game and having it be an NFL game. I don't care if you are the greatest quarterback of all time. It might even be harder if you are because you're used to relaying information to players, not necessarily people sitting on their couch at home. I saw very little of it. I saw his opening bit. I thought it was solid. Like people love to hate on that guy more than anybody. Like
yeah,
he's
they
the
do.
most, so he's going to be great. There was some question, I think, though, about his interest in being an owner of the Raiders and things that would be cut off to him as a broadcaster because there's like trade secrets that he could glean from, prepping for a game that he
It's
in
all
turn could
hearsay.
use.
None of
Yeah.
us know the reality if we're not involved. Typical, typical, typical.
Right.
And I remember my first rep walking in the UFC at UFC 8 in Bayamon, Puerto Rico. So, I mean, Steve-O, you probably remember your first rep. TJ, I'm sure you remember your first rep.
Sure.
It's an evolutionary process to get to where you're going. Okay, he's not a professional commentator. Just like he adapted to be one of the greatest, if not the greatest, as a quarterback, he seems to adapt to everything he does, whether it's acting, whether it's football. He'll be just fine. He's Tom Brady.
Yeah.
He'll figure it
And
out.
and he is gorgeous.
It's amazing. He still looks like he's in his 20s.
Right.
It's amazing.
Unbelievable.
All right. James Earl Jones passed away, one of the greatest
Yeah.
voices ever. My condolences
Yeah.
go out to his family and loved ones. He played Darth Vader in Star Wars and Mufasa in The Lion King and all that Academy Award winner. Just an incredible career. Definitely an actor I've always enjoyed. And a little more on film and TV. They're remaking Happy Gilmore.
No, is it a remake or is it a sequel?
It's a sequel. Well,
Yeah,
sequel. Pardon me. And it's in production right now. Also, John Wick 5 is being planned, and they're talking about a Rounders 2, a new film, a sequel to Rounders.
I've only seen one of those movies you talked about, and that was Happy Gilmore.
Let me guess, Happy Gilmore.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, well, we've learned on the show, Steve-O, TJ is not exactly the movie buff to be going over a ton of film. He's never even seen The Godfather.
Oh wow. Okay.
It's funny. I just watched Star Wars last week for the first time.
There you go. All right. Well,
Wow.
there's an example right there.
I know. I'm sorry, guys. Everyone hates me for my lack of movie exposure, but what can I say?
Steve, I don't think you're ever going to do an energy drink competition. Not that I want to throw it in there, but It's Time Energy is finally being released in the United
Wow.
States. Yep, this week I'm gonna be doing it.
Amazing.
Buff,
Yeah,
you've been
it's very
saying this
cool.
for 3 years, and I still haven't had a can of this.
Well, now you're going to be able to get a can of it. So no
From
sugar.
you or the store?
What's that?
From you or the store?
Well, probably you get your buns up here, and you'll
No,
get
no,
it from
that's
me.
fine. But can I go to the store and get it?
Yes, you will be. I'll be giving you the list of stores and everything coming up. I'm going to La Bonita supermarket. Their whole chain in Vegas. They're carrying a huge amount of stock, and I'll be doing an appearance there Thursday before the UFC.
You
And
know,
probably
Bruce.
before the show is posted.
I
What's the name?
absolutely love my It's Time cologne.
Oh, thanks.
I really can't heap enough praise onto you for that. My lady loves it. I love it. The bottle's so gorgeous.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's a real hit.
Coming out with 2 new versions.
Okay,
A black
good.
bottle called Iconic. It's going to be a different version, and an oud version. You remember you've heard of those ouds, OUD, that are out there?
I don't know about that, but
That special version supposedly makes women go crazy when you wear it.
okay,
So
good.
it's all been
I
in the
mean-
plan. So not that you need it, Steve-O. Come on. You're
Yeah.
fine.
Hey, you know what? I just got on testosterone. I'm less than 2 weeks in.
I saw that.
Yeah,
You feel-
I'm thrilled. I
Like-
don't feel.
From a doctor, Steve, or are you just like starting to
From a
just shoot up
doctor.
yourself? Okay, that's good.
From,
Okay.
from a doctor, and I don't feel any different yet, but I'm excited to start noticing the effects.
Did you check your levels before you took it?
I did. I did. I was down around 300 or
Really?
maybe
Wow, that's low.
330. Yeah, I definitely was a prime candidate for testosterone. And I'm not trying to get. I have no interest in bulking up. It's not that. I just want to have more energy. I want to feel younger. Trying to get up to maybe about 1,000, but nothing beyond that.
Yeah, I don't think testosterone is going to bulk you up. It's all about how you train, you know?
Okay.
Yeah,
So
but
it's not
I hear
naturally going to
testosterone.
bulk you up.
But I hear testosterone buff is like so important for mental health, and like most men after 35 are lower than suggested levels.
Yeah, lower levels.
Indicate,
I mean,
so.
your well-being, your performance in many other areas.
Just say it. Your firmness. I got you.
I didn't say it. You said it.
I got you, buff.
Steve-O's the one with the penis on his head. Let him say it.
Yeah.
All right, Steve-O, anything you want to promote before we take off?
I got my Super Dummy tour. The dates are at stevo.com. I'm excited for that. I got my Wild Ride podcast. I'm actually going to head out the door. We're going to go meet up with Dana and record an episode with him. That will go live tomorrow.
Cool.
So
Please tell Dana I said hi.
I certainly will. But just what a great guy. He's been so good to me. I'm super grateful for Dana, for the UFC, you guys. I love it all. Thank you so much.
Been super grateful to me too. So cheers to Dana. Listen, we wouldn't be where we're at if it wasn't for his maverick business attitude and bringing us to the level that we're at. That's for sure.
And people say I look like his nearsighted brother. I don't know why.
Okay. We'll take that for what it's worth. All right, TJ, go ahead.
Let's see what's going on this week. I did an episode of Extra Rounds for UFC Fight Pass, which is available right now. It is called Before the Octagon, where we take some select athletes that are on this UFC 306 card and look at their careers, a fight or two before they hit the octagon. We look at Sean O'Malley's Dana White Contender Series fight that got him the contract. We look at Alexa Grasso from a fight like 9 years ago where she was showing off amazing grappling skills. All of these athletes, they usually showcase their abilities on UFC Fight Pass long before they ever step foot in the octagon. So in that vein, we take a look at the performances that got the athletes to the Sphere on Saturday night.
You know, it'd be interesting when you said before the octagon, I thought, ooh, wouldn't it be...
Uh-oh, he's leaving us hanging
right
now.
at the end.
Oh, no. Wouldn't it be...
Steve-O?
The suspense is killing me, Buff. This is a great bit if it's supposed to happen this way. Could you imagine if this is all planned? It's what we call a cliffhanger in the business, a tease. I don't know what to do. Maybe his battery died. All right. You might as well wrap up, Buff. We got to go.
Here we go. Steve-O makes an exit. He makes an exit.
Yeah. What are you going to do?
All right, everybody. Have a great week. We'll be back next week with It's Time again. And going to see you from the Sphere. I can't say the Sphere. Going to see you from Sphere. There's no the.
There's no the, but
From
like
Sphere.
your brain wants you to say the.
Exactly. Sphere in Las Vegas. I am going to go train and get into Sphere shape. And I will see you Saturday from the Octagon. It's time to roar again for all the fine warriors that'll be in there. TJ, have a great week. Have a great weekend. If I see you in Vegas, I see you in Vegas. But I'll see everybody else in Vegas. I'll see you at La Bonita Supermarkets on Thursday in Vegas. And rock and roll time. UFC 306. Enjoy, everybody. TJ, take care. Talk to you next week.
See you,
Buffer out, everybody. Have a great week, and I'll see you from the Octagon.
Hi, everybody. I've had an absolute blast recording your championship intros on audio and also on video. And for those of you that didn't know, the videos can be done special exactly the way you like them, because these are green screens and we can do them with a scene behind me. Do you want a fighting scene? Do you want a beach scene? Do you want a race car scene? Any scene you want, we can give it to you. It's your theme and my pleasure. Just write our offices and we will answer you with the exact fee involved and how it'll get done. So here we are, and now it's time, and it's your choice. Cheers!